up though, my fellow scientists? How's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of Confessions of a Black Scientist. This is basically part 3 of how I got pushed out of Georgia State University. Now, when we left off, I just had a meeting with my advisor. He called me an asshole. He said I was a terrible person. If you've seen the last 2 episodes, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go back. So, I had to, I'm going home now. I went home for about a couple weeks, and now I had to figure out, okay, what to do. Now, what I decided to do, what my best course of action was, because I felt like I was at a place where I was being perceived in this light, and I feel like it was going to affect my candidacy in some kind of way, or affect how I was getting grants or fellowships or even my stipend. So what I decided was to conduct a letter, and I conducted this letter basically outlining everything that happened in the previous 2 videos. So if you don't know, go look. But everything that happened in those 2 videos, and I decided to send it to the graduate coordinator. So conduct this letter, send it to the graduate coordinator, but I also had to CC my advisor in it. Now, obviously, I'll try to go through the chain of command as like my advisor and then the graduate coordinator. So I sent off this letter, mind you, during a break, and sent off this letter not even, I can't even say not even an hour later, probably not even 30 minutes later. Now, if you're a scientist, you've been through grad school, you know advisors are terrible at emailing you back anyways. My advisor, my PI at this time was the same way. And let me tell you, I got a reply in the quickness. Now this is what he said to me. He told me, Dominique, how am I supposed to advise you if you don't come to me about these things first? So I'm sitting here thinking, how am I going to come to you when I already tried to come to you and you just completely just shut me down? So who am I to go to now? I have to go above your head. So I honestly did not give it any mind. I told him, hey, we'll just talk when I get back. The graduate coordinator actually got back to me and said, you know what, let's have a meeting when we get back, and we'll discuss this. We'll discuss what's going on. So I get back to school. I have a meeting with the graduate coordinator first, actually, and he was telling me, hey, this is the course of action. What you said is they're heavy allegations, and we're going to have to bring the lawyers in, and it's a racial issue, which, I mean, me personally, I was fine with, as long as I didn't have to get a lawyer, because I'm broke, so I can't afford one. So and that was the course of action. I told him, hey, let's go on with it, because I'm not going to sit here and get blamed for things. So, and I was going to stand up for myself. So after that, I ended up having a meeting with my advisor. Now things get turned on their head. My advisor tells me, hey, look, if you don't let this go, then you have no place in this lab or in this department. Blown, right? So he was saying that he didn't have time to talk to lawyers, and if I didn't let it go, I will be out of his lab and the department. So I had a huge decision to make. We've already published 1 paper, and we're working on the 2nd one. And should I let all of my hard work go to waste because of this one racist person? Well, I had some soul searching, and I decided that, well, a long story short, obviously, but I decided that I had to, quote unquote, let it go. Now, me letting it go meaning I wasn't going to get lawyers involved. So I ended up letting it go, but that was the beginning of the end for me in that lab, not only in the lab, but at that university. So what happened was I had to write a end of semester report about what I've done, all the research that I've conducted. By this time, I have already published both of the papers that I was first authors on, and it was going to be an easy, end of semester report. They're not looking for correctness, grammar, all that stuff. They're just looking to see how much or how far along am I. So I write it, and my advisor's just giving it back, saying it's crap, it's terrible, keep on writing, keep on editing it, write it, keep on editing it, write it. So he basically would not sign off on it. And if you don't sign off on it, then I can't register for classes next semester. So what ended up happening is he was like, you know what, I just don't understand why you're so horrible at writing. And he told me, I just don't, I was like, I can't believe that you even passed undergrad with the way that you write. And I'm just like, whoa. I was like, that was, just took a gut shot. You just, did a 2-1 punch on me, you know what I'm saying? And it was pretty crazy. And I'm just like, wow, I didn't know I was that bad at it. And I actually had a second pair of eyes look at it, and they was just like, no, it wasn't bad. It's not bad at all. Like you write just like any old grad student. And I'm just like, well, then why does my advisor say that I'm terrible at it? Well, basically what he was trying to do is get me out of his lab. He didn't want me there anymore. Mediation tried to happen. He wasn't going for it. And by this time, I was already blackballed from the department, or blackballed throughout the department, because since he didn't want me in his lab, I had to find a different lab. And so now I'm going throughout the lab trying to find a different lab to get into, and I can't know. Every single professor that I went to gave me an excuse to why they couldn't take me, and it was heartbreaking. So this is at the end of May of 2016, and my lease is up on the 30th or the 31st. So guess what I had to do? I had to make a decision, and the decision was to leave. And I had no other lab to go to, had no other place to go, and my source of income was going to stop abruptly. So I had to move back home. But I wasn't gonna move back home empty-handed. So I went to the graduate coordinator. I told him, hey, look, I want to leave, but I want my master's degree. He looked at me. He knew the situation. He was like, okay. So we got all the paperwork in. We got it through within a week. Within a week span, this thing happened. And within a week, I had to pack up all my things and move back to Indiana. And now I'm in a place where I'm stuck. I'm pretty lost. I don't know what's going to happen. What am I going to do? Because I have not looked at or applied for any other graduate programs. So now what do I do? And when you're in these kind of spots, you just have to sit back, not panic, relax, and just think through things. Because if you panic, that's when horrible things start to happen. You start to doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Don't stress. Because everything happens for a reason. And you have to remember that. So what happens next to me when I took this 12-hour drive from Georgia to Indiana? Well, you got to find out in the next video. Alright? Peace. Hey guys, if you like these videos, make sure you like, you share it, you subscribe it, tell your friends, tell your girlfriend, tell your mama, tell your baby's mama. You know what? Just tell everybody, alright? Gang, gang.